On the 6th of May. Doop, doop, doop.
I mean, today is May the 4th be with you, but
Yes.
that's filming.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Twin Talk podcast. I don't know if I'm going to call it that, mostly because, although recently it's been just you and me, I am supposed to do my own one, but I just get busy. I do other things because...
I do not,
Yeah, well, I'm glad that we keep this going, though. We've kept this going. And we see your comments every single week. And what's cool is actually, which, I mean, you'd expect this to happen, but with each upload each week, more people are expecting it at the same time, the same sort of thing. And that's how like a YouTube channel in general tends
regular
to grow.
routine.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't the type of channel that would just go viral because it's just a podcast. We're not doing anything crazy. But
I mean, I don't know. We could.
I don't think so. I mean, maybe. I mean, some like people's podcasts do go, but I don't know. I feel like the way podcasts get big is the reason is the person running it is getting really big themselves. So say my YouTube channel grew to 5 million subscribers because of some type of content I made, and then I push this podcast. That's how it would grow.
Yeah, like if PewDiePie did a shout out for this podcast. Whoop.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. Is he still relevant?
He's got over 100 million subscribers. So he's definitely still relevant, but it's weird. It is what it is. But we did have a brief look at the news before we came on, and it looks kind of positive. I mean, how do you feel mentally? Do you feel in a positive headspace or negative coming into the recording today?
I actually feel pretty good. I slept relatively well last night.
Rare occurrence for those who just think, okay, well done, you slept.
Yeah, I slept through the boiler turning on, and like this room, when the boiler turns on, you're awake. Like I wake up every day like I don't hear anything. It must be before 8 o'clock, or I wake up like it is now 8 o'clock.
Yeah. When I used to sleep in here, I would, if I wasn't awake, it would just be up with the boiler. Yeah. But now, fortunately, because I've had months to do it, because even before the whole virus thing, my job means I don't have to be up a certain time. I was able to get a sleep schedule that allows me to wake up without an alarm. But now I'm waking up before 7 a.m. every day without an alarm. And I'm like, man, if it gets any earlier, I'm going to start wasting my time in the morning. So partly because I work in here and you sleep in here. But that does encourage me to go for a run.
You have nothing else to do.
Yeah, because I can't work until you're awake. I'm not going to wake you up at 6:30 because that's unreasonable.
That is very unreasonable.
So if I get up and go for a morning run, which I've been doing, then... yeah, that's pretty good going. So you feel good?
I feel good. I submitted my final piece of uni work today.
You're done.
So yeah, I'm done with my degree.
So you basically have a degree.
Yeah.
So you could do nothing else and you would get a degree.
No, I'd have to click one more button. I've got one more piece of work to actually submit, but it's been written and done.
Yeah, so it could take you a minute. Like you have to think of any new ideas.
After this podcast, if I wanted to, I could finish my degree in a minute.
Yeah. Wow.
But I'm choosing not to. I'm just drawing out the process a little bit longer.
You're trying to stay at uni for the rest of your life.
So I'm still a student rather than being unemployed.
But you might be employed.
But I might be employed.
Did we mention this on the previous podcast?
I don't know, but I
feel like we might have done. Maybe
it's the wheels are turning. I think by this time next week, I will have a job. Which, if that is the case,
key worker.
As a key worker, I think I'll be wearing all that PPE. I've just seen that someone else who has a similar job has been like, I need a headband because they're getting like rubbing bits on the ears. Advice to people though, if you're wearing a mask and it's like pulling on your ears, get a paperclip and hold it together with a paperclip, and that doesn't touch the back of your ears.
Well, see, the thing is with masks, there's been discussions about whether or not it should be mandatory to wear them in supermarkets, and I get that. I don't even know how to go about getting a mask.
I don't think I'd be able to. I'd have to make one.
Like everyone has masks. Where do you get them from?
I genuinely think at this point it would be quicker for me to make my own.
Yeah, because from the beginning of March, pharmacies were saying, "Yo, we don't have any masks." Yeah.
So an argument outside Poundland.
Poundland's still open.
Oh, when was it? It was Good Friday. Yeah, so an argument outside Poundland on Good Friday.
Yeah, I don't remember the argument, but I was there.
It wasn't Good Friday. It was even earlier than that.
Well, we did go to Poundland on Good Friday because we went for a big walk.
But it was that was probably the last time I went to Poundland. So before Good Friday, whenever it was, there was an argument in March. Would have been, probably like the 25th-ish of March. Not quite, but about that time. Okay. It was before our birthday. And they this guy was arguing with the Poundland lady, like, oh, why don't you have any masks? And I was like, well, dude, you're like 80, you shouldn't be out anyway.
Why don't the employees? Why aren't they wearing masks?
And no. He said, why didn't they have any to sell him?
Oh,
they weren't wearing masks either.
I thought when Dad, his recollection of the argument was him saying, why are you not wearing masks? That you can infect people.
No, he was saying, I want to buy one. And they were saying, well, we haven't got any. And he said, well, when are you going to get some in? And she was like, we don't know. And let's be honest, if we get any, we're just going to give them to the hospital anyway.
Yeah, or they're going to start wearing them.
And he got all like weird about it. And I was like, dude,
just don't go outside.
Your demographic shouldn't be outside anyway.
Yeah, I mean, well, we looked at the figures for the virus and the confirmed cases at least, so it will be higher than that, probably by quite a bit. But even if the actual cases was 10 times higher than the confirmed amount in our area, that's still it's not even 10% of the area. No, so I feel very safe.
we are so low down. I think we're like the second lowest confirmed cases in the UK, only compared to Northern Ireland.
Yeah, and I know you, but I suppose it would be different because you went to university and you therefore mixed with people at uni and there are a lot more people. But me personally, someone who lives here in the south and only has friends who live here in the south, you know, for the most part, I still don't know anyone that's been affected, like personally. Yeah. Oh. So like, you have people at uni and people from, you know, they all come together in uni situations. But as far as me and my friends who live here, stay here and just have a life down here, I don't know anyone that's even got it. Which is crazy.
I suppose you do by
extension, like through you, yeah. But I don't know, like I'm saying, the people that are in the same situation as me in the sense they're here.
The vicar's daughter has it.
What, the local vicar?
Yeah.
Right, okay, yeah. See,
but again, but then her daughter doesn't live locally.
Well, yeah. So that's what I mean. Yeah. So everyone, all of my mates in the same situation. To my knowledge, they're all good. Their family's all fine. So it's and it is nice to know. And it seems the news is putting a positive spin. And even last week, we were all discussing as a family how we do feel like we're past halfway.
Yeah,
and there's something psychological about halfway point. Yeah. I've mentioned this before when I spoke about
knowing that everything you've already done, you don't have to do it all again.
Yeah,
you have less to do than you've already done. For me, that I like. Yeah. You know, when I get to a point, if I'm writing an essay, you know, when I get past halfway point. When I get past the halfway point, I'm like, I'm basically done.
Yeah.
You know, like I get to the beginning of Wednesday and I'm like, there's so much of the week left. And I get to the end of Wednesday and I'm like, party time. It's
pretty
the
much
end of the week.
Exactly.
Yeah, Wednesday is such day.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's what I said. I mean, that's why they call it Hump Day, right?
Yeah.
But I mentioned it. I was speaking about. I likened it to running. If I am running for 30 minutes, I say I do a 5k on the treadmill in 30 minutes at like a moderate jog. When I get to 25 minutes, I feel fine. I'm basically at the end. If I'm running just double that, a 10k an hour, that 25-minute period where running the 5k, I'd be fine. I'm like really, like I'm gassing. I've got a stitch, and then as soon as I get to 31 minutes, I'm good.
But it's weird because they say psychologically, the hardest part of the marathon is the end. They say that you should use half your energy for 3/4 of the marathon.
Yeah, see, for me, it's definitely not the end.
Like, yeah, they get, it's actually about 2/3 of the way through the marathon is the hardest point.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I haven't run super, super long distance. Like, the two longer runs I've done, one was 12 miles and one recently was 8. And the 8-mile one I did in an hour, which is just a record for me. Like, that's crazy. I wasn't even trying to run fast. And by the end of the 8-mile one, I was a bit puffed out. And by the end of the 12-mile run, I had to walk a little bit, partly because I was tired, but also because I really needed a wee. And if I ran, it would have just like pushed it out. But yeah, I think for like shorter runs, like 10 kilometers and below, it's like the halfway point. I'm like, not out of breath because obviously I can do the whole run, but I'm just a bit like feeling a bit slow. And then by the end,
you've got to warm up to it.
I'm like, yes, and then I tend to get quicker.
When I used to cycle to work. Because obviously you get quite hot. Obviously I get hot when I'm cycling, and if you're wearing a backpack, and
that's the
worst.
I
also used to go to the gym on the way to work. Oh, crazy times.
Did you shower at the gym?
Yes. So I didn't. Okay. So what I would do is I would not shower in the morning. I would just get up, have my breakfast, put on my.
But showering and then cycling to work's gotta suck.
Well, no, but the gym was quite close to work, so it wasn't too bad. I didn't find it that bad, and then I would still get changed again when I got to work into my work uniform. So I ended up having the gym clothes that I'd wear from home to gym and in the gym. Then I'd have a shower and put on a different set of clothes to wear to work, and then change again into my work clothes.
Would you wear your work clothes back home, or
and then either wear my work clothes back home or but generally change back into my cycling clothes to come back?
Yeah. I used to get really sweaty on the way to school.
3 sets of clothes a day.
So, yeah, but that's the worst.
But cycling, I would have to make sure that if I wasn't thinking that my hands were going to fall off, that I was freezing cold for the first like third.
You're gonna sweat.
I'm going to be dead by the end. So
Yeah.
it was, if I got to the gym and I just about regulated my temperature, that was good.
Mm-hmm.
If I was,
You want to be cold at the beginning.
I want to be cold.
Otherwise,
at the
you'll
beginning.
be too hot.
I want to feel the cold air in my lungs be like, oh, this is horrible for the first kind of third of the journey.
And you have to make
so
yourself
that by the end
warm
of the
up.
journey, I'm like, yeah, this is nice.
Yeah, that's how I. And also when it's super cold as well, when I run, it makes me run faster because I want to warm up. But by the end, I mean, because I run for an hour, which is quite a long time, I'm always sweaty by the end because you can't really run for an hour. But like, if it takes you to cycle to work, like probably like 5 to 10 minutes to the gym and then another 10.
Yeah, it's about 20 minutes to work.
So you can almost like kind of, it's almost like you could do the 10 minutes without really affecting your body too much. For the most part, if you're cold.
Generally, I would also leave enough time to get to work.
Yeah.
And I also wouldn't cycle totally to work. I would cycle to the end of the high street and then walk the bike to work.
I used to like walking down the school drive.
I could almost isn't it like 10 minutes after exercise you still kind of sweat or something? So I would kind of take that time to cool down, partly also so I didn't get to work like I'd get to work like I'm really fit and healthy. And if I was thinking that there might be, if I just saw someone at the back to work, I would then get on my bike and cycle so it looked like I'd cycled the whole way.
Oh right.
And I'd turn up like, I'm still on my bike, I
can't remember I can't believe when we used to cycle to school, we just got so sweaty, and it would be in the school.
Changed. I didn't wear school uniform to work at school. I used to get changed at school.
Yeah, see, I did. I just did the school uniform, ride to school, and now that I'm thinking back on it, I actually didn't sweat a lot, considering. But I think that's mostly because I wasn't as hairy back then.
Yeah.
Like at school, I had a bit of hair. I had like similar hair to the hair I have now, but this is a result of manscaping, because I was never like a bear in school. But now if I let it grow,
got like 16
for like a month or whatever, or a couple of months, there's just so much there, and it's like, why?
Dad is why.
Yeah, I think.
And grandma, I think.
Oh, it's all just a bit crazy, isn't it? Well, how do you think you're going to be holding up when you're 40 years old?
I'm going to look terrible.
Do you think?
Honestly, I'm going to have no hair.
Because you look, or in the past few years, you've looked sort of perhaps more tired than someone who's 20 years old and should be at the peak of their powers, so to speak. But do you think, because going through adult life, you might not say have children or anything like that, you might actually go from a much more stressful period to a more relaxed state, and you could be this zen 40-year-old guy that looks actually all right, and then I look
Patrick Stewart, right?
Stressed out.
Yeah, if you look at him from like 40 to 60, he looks the same.
Yeah.
I think I'm kind of doing that where, because I don't actually look that different from when I was like 19.
No, you don't.
Actually, just a little bit chubbier. I think I'm probably, apart from just a little bit of hair loss.
Yeah.
And like I have so many white hairs now, it's actually ridiculous.
I've never had one yet, still.
I had my first white hair 6 years ago. I think that I will probably get to about 40. Like I look like
Silver
30 now.
Fox,
I look like 30
boom.
now. So I'm probably going to get to 40. Maybe looking like 45, and then when I'm 60, I'm probably still gonna look 45.
It's all a bit skewed, though, isn't it? It's like perspective, because if
like when I shave,
if we were 16, or like when we were 16, like I'd look at someone who's 22 and think they're like a proper adult. But now I think about myself and I think, surely I don't look like that. But then I look back at 16-year-old me, I'm like, I actually do look quite young. And then you see some adults who are like 30, and it's like, really? Because 30. You're an adult. You're a proper adult.
But I see some adults. It's like when you see actors.
Doesn't mean you're not stupid.
You see actors in a film and you think like, I swear he's looked the same the whole time. And then you realise that, it's like Anna Kendrick was like 32 when she filmed Pitch Perfect or something ridiculous. Yeah. And you think,
you can definitely play like a high school student if you look kind of young. I watched a video because
Tobey Maguire did not pass as a high school student in Spider-Man.
Like the stereotype of Asians not aging. Aging. And I watched this one video from an Asian guy, and he just said in an off comment, because he was sort of almost giving his, why you should listen to his opinion sort of thing. So he was saying how experienced he was, and he said, I'm 40, and the dude looked 23. He just looked like one of those college guys, and he was 40 years old, and I was just like, wow, that's wild.
Now I'm gonna just because it's kind of relevant. It made me really laugh.
Okay.
We at uni, at the first kind of month or so, so kind of early October, we have what we call a night at the theatre, where all of the performing arts societies and a couple of other societies like Fashion Society, Photography Society, Pole and Aerial Fitness all come together and do like a showcase. So they perform, so there's like an art exhibition / photography exhibition on the way in, and then the fashion lot do a runway, and you watch different numbers and scenes. And they had a BAME piece, so a Black Asian minority ethnic piece called Conversations with My Agent, about this girl who's Vietnamese who keeps getting typecast in these roles, and she's like, first of all, I'm not even Chinese, so why do I keep getting the Chinese character? Why do I always get these characters? All that stuff. And the person announcing it just stood on stage and goes, and now we have Conversations with My Asian, and then he went, agent, Asian, and it just but he then like spent a couple of minutes trying to recover from it, and kept like agent, not Asian, and it just made it worse. And honestly, considering the what the piece was about, it just really made me laugh. It really shouldn't have done, but I felt so bad. Yeah, see, the technician should have just done a blackout there and then just let him go.
I mean, if I'm like a Vietnamese or something and I get cast for a Chinese because I look Asian, because I am Asian, I'll just be like, yeah, I get it. Like, cheers for the role. It's I know that I'm not saying all Asian people look the same, like but in the same way that English and American look similar. You could play an American.
I could play a Canadian or an American.
Yeah, like a Vietnamese could play a certain strand of Asia.
I could probably play Arabic at a push.
Some lighting maybe. You could probably play Italian.
Hey, you said I look like Jafar. He's...
Yeah, but you do. Tom looks like Jafar in the new Aladdin, particularly with your haircut, his, but it's under a hat. This is the hat of the day. Yeah.
Which Dad got for a Secret Santa one year, and he didn't know why, and it was too small for his head, and now it's mine.
He got given it by someone.
Yeah, as a Secret Santa present, and he has no idea why. He doesn't know who gave it to him. It seems
Imagine
a bit
looking at so he doesn't
look at Dad and be like, here you go. He's a bank
he needs
manager.
a hat.
He needs a hat like this, probably because he's not got any hair.
It also just doesn't really.
It looks a bit odd because it's been like crushed under the bed for a while.
Yeah, it's been crushed a bit, so it just doesn't really look that good. It just looks a bit weird. It looks like it's just fallen into a puddle. You've just picked it up and just.
I mean, honestly, that's kind of my aesthetic.
Like you've just been dropped in a puddle.
Usually my aesthetic is I've just fallen down the stairs. I think that's generally my aesthetic. I've fallen down the stairs into a puddle.
Well, then that's the goal. But by 40 years old, you get to the point where you don't look like a drowned rat.
Like there's actually a book series where a character is described as like looking like he dressed himself in the dark and then threw himself down the stairs just for good measure because he looked too good. And I sometimes feel that on an emotional level as to just how I look.
Yeah, I feel very scrutinized for the way I look because I've got a lot of younger viewers and they just say what they think.
I know. I work with kids.
Yeah.
The amount of kids that are like, how old are your children? I'm like, I don't have any. And they're like, but do you know, like some of them actually thought I was in my 40s.
I mean, that's just pretty dumb. You don't look like you're 40.
I was like,
you're not wrinkly enough. Not that you need to be wrinkly when you're 40, but yeah, you just don't look 40.
I know.
I wouldn't even say you look 30.
I think
you just look like someone in their 20s who looks old.
All of the staff, apart from like one or two, were all like 25 and under, and the kids all know this. So I'm like,
Oh, then again, maybe over there, their culture, they're having kids at like 14, and it's just maybe a little bit different. So,
but it's still,
I tell you what, I've seen a few things like ages and stuff. Do you just have like a shiver?
I did. Again, I think someone walked over my grave. It keeps happening. I swear.
Tom's going like this
that my
every
grave,
day.
my grave is just currently a zebra crossing. Just because people just keep
every day. Just like, but
it goes again.
Yeah, so I've seen a lot of like viral videos of kind of, it's usually a younger person, say 18 or a teenager or something. They take videos of their parents, and one of them's like 40 and one of them's like 60 or 50 or something like that, and about how age gaps and stuff. And I'm still yet to see any as crazy or even as close to as crazy as our grandparents. Yeah, absolutely, guys, unreal. So our granddad was born in 1907.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if we had the generational,
that was 113 years ago.
If we had the gap of a to be fair, weirdly usual amount, like,
well, there is a bigger age gap between grandma and granddad than grandma and our dad.
Yeah, well, see, yeah, which is crazy for one. But like, if you take the fact, if we go a bit extreme, because you find it quite often where if your mum has you at age 18, you'll have a kid at 18. That happens a lot.
Yeah.
But let's say your mum is a really young mum at 16, and then their kid does the same and has a child at 16. That child is 32 years younger than their grandparents, but we are 91.
He's what, 130?
We're 91 years younger than our granddad, which is unreal. Because when they got married, granddad was 55 and grandma was 25.
So again, it's like dad is now
The age of when
still younger than his dad was when Uncle Tim was born.
Well, dad's now the same age as granddad when granddad married grandma.
Yeah.
And Hannah, who is our sister and dad's daughter, is the same age as grandma.
Older.
A year older, right?
Yeah, older.
A year old, a little bit older than grandma when she married granddad. So it's
weird.
unreal. I mean, I love that story.
And yeah, talking to grandma, she said that she has never loved anyone else.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, which is cool.
And that there was never anyone else for her, and that was always kind of the thing. I just think that's so lovely. You know, he must have had a great sense of humour. Because
I was gonna say, yeah, he must have been doing something right. Like,
I mean, he was still playing tennis in his 70s. He must have been doing something right.
yeah, because back then, obviously, it would be way more scandalous then in some ways.
Yeah.
And then now you don't even get close to that. People get judged for that sort of thing, and
People get judged if there's a 5-year age gap.
yeah, I mean, typically if it's like I saw on the news a while ago, there was a woman who was 20 years older than the man, and that's just a little bit different because usually the man is the older one.
Well, that's because women, like, in terms of biology, you know, they are only fertile in a certain period, whereas men are fertile for the whole of their life. So generally speaking, you know, men can afford to marry younger and still have kids.
Yeah, I just
a lot of young men won't want to marry an older woman.
I love the idea that they were, 30 years apart, and it does sound crazy when you think if you show a 30-year-old a newborn baby and say in 25 years that'll be your wife. That's like a bit weird, but that's obviously not how it is. But it's cool that they were 30 years apart, both consenting adults, and they loved each other that much, and as a result, here we are.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
You know, she didn't even tell her mum.
Yeah.
For ages. She just went, Mum, I'm getting married this weekend. Come or don't. He's 30 years older than me. Bye.
Like, imagine, we're too young. We're too
that.
young to get that sort of comparison, because the most
I'm not even 25 yet.
The most we can say is, here's my girlfriend. She's 18.
Well, my girlfriend won't be 18 because I won't have one.
Or boyfriend, for instance. Like, that's all we could say, because we can't really say. I mean, 17, I think legally you can, but it'd be a bit weird. And 16, but 15, like, forget it. You can't do that. That's not allowed. So we're not old enough for that to be.
Can't really think of any 15-year-olds that I find attractive.
I don't even know any 15-year-olds. So, but it just reminded that bit in the In-Betweeners when Jay says, I think it's Jay or Neil, they said, you fancied an 8-year-old? And he goes, well, I was 8. You still fancied an 8-year-old.
Well, this is the thing. I was saying, like, I was thinking about this. Because people got weird about me and Alex because he was 15 when we started dating, but I was 17.
Yeah.
And then he turned 16 before I turned 18.
Yeah.
But then, like, people were like, oh, you're 17, he's 15. And then people were like, oh, you're 18, he's 16. And people got weird about it.
It's all very strange because I don't.
But he was taller than me and probably more mature than me as well.
This is the thing, because it is sort of blurred lines in the sense that if you're 18 and someone you want to be is 15, I mean, mum and dad are that age gap. They were 17 and 14 when they started going out.
There was a point when.
So it's like 18 and 15 nowadays, the 18-year-old would be looked at weird. But at the same time, I don't think it's that bad.
I think as long as you have both gone through puberty, then you've got
such a weird one.
Adults.
Yeah.
Yeah, because some people go through puberty really young. That doesn't mean that you can suddenly date them. But like, if you are, once you have matured, I think.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Maybe for next episode we should collate some unpopular opinions that we have over the next week without telling each other. And then pitch it when we. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what I saw today online. It was horrific.
Okay.
I was on a dating app, and the headline that you can put under was, "If loving this is wrong, I don't want to be right."
Okay.
And guess what they put under it?
Is this like people? It's almost like a forum. They can put.
So it's just on your dating profile.
Okay.
To like start.
It's like a point. Okay. What was the one you saw?
He put, "If loving Marmite with pasta is wrong, then I don't want to be right because I love it."
Okay. I mean,
he eats Marmite with pasta. I don't. No.
I mean, I
don't think that's okay.
I don't mind only on the basis it doesn't affect me, and I'll never eat that.
No, but like, I just think there's something unhinged about that.
Yeah, but like,
That makes me profoundly uncomfortable. It's worse than grandma's marmalade on garlic bread. Like it makes me profoundly uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
Like I have chicken nuggets with ice cream, and that makes me uncomfortable.
Oh, the Marmite thing.
Yeah, the Marmite thing makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's partly because you don't like Marmite.
Yeah.
Chicken nuggets and ice cream, you like both.
Yeah, and they go so well together.
Like,
honestly,
I feel like
Oreos
you
and
could
chicken
take
nuggets
two
as well.
things. Yeah, you could take two things that you like and probably like them together.
No, I had at church once when we were doing the Last Supper thing with the kids. I had pita bread with glace icing on. And it was vile. I have no idea why, because I love them both separately, and I thought it would be okay actually.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's not like a
horrible.
guaranteed like this is great, but if you try and think of, I think the main thing that stops weird combinations like that being tasty is actually the texture more than the taste.
Yes.
Like if you stick pasta with biscuits or something, I mean,
Actually,
people
do you
have
know what?
croutons on
I'm
pasta.
not gonna lie,
and all that,
I've had bourbons like biscuits and pasta before.
How? What, in the same dish?
Yeah.
Why?
So I was at uni. And
Why? I mean, at the very least, just have a bowl of pasta and some bourbons as well.
I was curious. I wanted to try.
I mean, I took a long time to even get used to having cheese in my sandwiches. Still not cheese, just a cheese sandwich, because that's just weird. I'd rather have bread and butter and then some
I
cheese.
don't like cheese.
But ham
unless
and
it's hot.
cheese, I'll take ham and cheese. But that took me a long time to get up to that. So I'd have a ham sandwich and cheese on the side when I was younger, because I just never thought to try the two together. But I'm so basic. I'll eat just chicken breast on its own.
Yeah.
I'll just eat bland foods, and I'd also eat the same thing every day. A lot of people get bored. A lot of people have a proper meal every day, like their dinners, like bolognese one night, fajitas another night.
Oh no, I'm at
And
uni.
I'm
I'm
like,
like,
no.
I've made a shepherd's pie. That'll feed 4. So I'll have if the week Monday to Friday, 4 of those meals will be a shepherd's pie.
Yeah, see, I just think,
But it's got potato, meat, veg.
exactly, that's horrible.
It's got everything in it.
That's awful. There's too much going on. Like I want to eat one thing
At a time.
because also I think it gets to the point where when you put too much stuff together, it just tastes like blech. That's the best way I can describe it. I'm not the kind of person who can like taste something and be like, oh yeah, I can taste the potato, oh I can taste the meat, it's all coming together in my mouth, and
No, just stick gravy on it, and then it's all just gravy.
Exactly,
And I love
like,
that. I live for that.
No.
Like roast dinner, you just whack it all together.
Like chicken, like a lot of people, my friends, they slate me for not having sauce with my chicken nuggets.
Well, no, because I have ice cream with mine.
Yeah, I know you do, but
I hate sauce.
I'm eating chicken nuggets to taste chicken nuggets,
Not ketchup
not
or
to taste
mayonnaise.
barbecue or whatever.
Well,
If I wanted barbecue, then yeah, I'd just
Buy something with barbecue already on it.
maybe if I wanted barbecue, I'd get like a barbecue based pizza, which I wouldn't because I don't like barbecue
No.
that much. But for chicken nuggets, for instance, I want to taste chicken nuggets, so give me the nugs.
But like, no, I love putting stuff together. Like, if I've got a burger, like back when Burger King used to do the nice bacon double cheeseburger, I would lift up that
Wait,
bun
do they
and
not?
stick
Do they not
chips
do
in
it anymore?
They do, but they put gherkins and sauce in it.
Yeah, they ruined it.
But I'd lift it up and I'd put all the fries in it and have a layer of fries as well. Because I'm like, who doesn't want some deep fried potato with their bacon and cheese?
Yeah, I can deal with that. Like I wouldn't not like the taste, but at the same time, it would almost feel like I'm wasting the chips because my taste buds are so focused on the burger that I'm
No, I
just
think it really
adding
adds it.
extra
I think it
chips.
adds it.
I'd rather just eat the chips.
No, I think it adds to it.
I don't know. Like, yeah, I mean, I could eat things together, but I don't know. I like to taste what I'm eating, and if that means I have to taste one thing at a time, then I'll do that. And I can also eat a lot of the same thing.
Yeah, but like brookies, that's brownie and cookie. That's 2 separate things. They're very different.
Yeah, they are. Well, brownie and cookie's not that different, but they both, when they come together, yeah, it's a good taste. I'm not saying I don't like things together, but if you were gonna, I only have the brookie bar because it's there, like it's convenient. I'd happily have a brownie bar or a cookie bar, but just all these weird combinations, I'm not feeling it. Not a fan. Like. I know people that like add crisps to their sandwich, for instance, right? They do that sometimes for the crunch.
Oh my gosh, I saw someone, right?
Yeah.
And okay.
Yeah.
I think it was wrong.
Carry on.
So for their lunch,
Yep.
I don't know if this is a northern thing because they are northern.
Okay, you said it was
Oh,
such
they might be from the
disgust.
Midlands actually.
Okay.
Yeah, they're from the Midlands.
Right.
But they got a slice of bread.
Yep.
They buttered it.
Okay. Yeah.
Put ham on it.
Yeah.
They put cheese on it.
Okay.
They cut some grapes in half and put grapes in it.
Oh.
And then they sprinkle salt and vinegar crisps on top.
No.
And then they put the bread on top. And I thought, what is this? This is crisps, grapes, ham, and cheese in a sandwich together.
See, the ham and cheese is just lost in that sandwich.
Yeah, and
because when you think about it, the grapes
and
they're going to
juice.
explode with the juice, and the salt
This
and
is
vinegar
why I hate tomatoes in
is
sandwiches.
one of the most potent flavors. So it's going to be a squishy, juicy, salt and vinegary sandwich. And the ham and cheese, anyone who says they will taste the ham and cheese is lying. I mean, they're not lying, but let's be real, it's just not worth it.
No, it's not worth it at all.
Like, I struggle to taste the ham and cheese when I have a ham and cheese sub. I can't taste which one's which. It just depends if there's like more ham, more cheese in that bite. That's what I taste. It's just, I don't know.
Your taste buds don't multitask.
They really don't. I think I'm very all in. I'm an all in personality. Like, if I like doing something, I'll do it for 12 hours straight. So if I like a food, I'll eat that food and I want to taste that food. Domino's pizza is about as wild as I get when it comes to combining food.
Yeah,
but even then,
it's all savoury.
It's all savoury for one, but also there are occasional mouthfuls where you get like a bit of everything on your pizza. But because
Usually
I like the meat
there.
and the meatball, usually the mouthful isn't big enough. It's like, okay, this is a meatball mouthful. Then I put extra sausage on my pizza. This is a sausage mouthful.
Yeah.
And then if it does all come together, it's all kind of the same anyway. It's all meat, so that's great. But that's about as far as I go with mixing stuff. That and cereal. Milk and cereal? Yeah.
That's a mix. Do you ever mix your cereal?
See, like, no.
I find that quite hard. I have done it occasionally, but I actually really hate mixing cereal.
Well, like, Dad, he has, like, shreddies for the most part, and then adds, like, a third Frosties to give it more of a sugary... So I was like, no.
Texture mix.
Yeah.
Flavour mix.
Give me a bowl of something. That's it. Chips, I don't need any sauce. I'll spring a bit of salt on there, salt and vinegar even,
I hate
like
vinegar.
that.
Bit of salt,
But
great, though.
I just... I don't know. I'm what people would call
weird,
a fussy eater.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it really annoys me. In the actual fact, I just move on with my day. But when people say like, "Oh, because the implication is that I'm like childish, right?"
Well,
but the thing is, if I could
you just have more sensitive taste.
If I could like every food, I would. How much do you think? Do people seem to think that I'm choosing to not like foods? They don't realize how much easier my life would be in eating out and eating round friends in particular, because you don't choose the meal. That would be so much easier if I just liked what was in front of me.
That's true, and also a lot of studies show that people who are colorblind do actually dislike a lot more food.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because we struggle, because a lot of
you can't see
the food properly. So generally, a lot of for example, vegetables tend to look a lot less appetizing to us because we're not as good with the greens and the browns. So we tend to see vegetables looking a lot more brown rather than green. And obviously, brown is not a
vegetables
very attractive.
do kind of taste brown.
Yeah.
That's
so actually, we'll often we see food as less appetizing. Unless it's particularly bright.
Maybe that's why I like bananas so much as well.
So like bananas are very bright, they're very vibrant. You'll like things like that, but then things that are a bit less. Yeah, there is literally a study that suggests it.
Well, there we go. I think we figured it out. And now, at least that, I have a retort. I could be like, listen, it's my eyes. I'm like, what is it? Yeah, I just can't see what I'm eating, so it just doesn't taste good.
I wonder if that means people who are blind taste differently.
Oh, I bet they taste like they're on drugs. Like everything's like, whoa.
Or people that can't smell definitely taste
differently.
Yeah,
they probably don't taste at all.
They don't taste a lot. Yeah.
Like if you actually fully couldn't smell, you probably
food would be really boring. It'd be so easy.
Can
your
taste buds? Do they work alone without the nose? Could you taste something?
But it just wouldn't be anywhere near as potent.
Oh, I do love food. To be fair, might go and eat something after this.
I mean, I've got to finish lunch.
I
know it's like 8:00. When it goes up, but it's 2:15. I had half my lunch before this as like a boost, so I'm going to finish my chicken and bacon sandwich and my orange juice.
We've been very productive today. Very productive. This is because you've done some work. You've pretty much finished. I've already recorded and edited 2 videos before this. We were going to record this on Tuesday the 5th. Monday the 4th, we were like, you know what? We got like some time. Let's do it.
And you never know when I might get a job, so I've got to get everything in now. Also, I have 2 meetings tomorrow online.
Yeah, and as it's up to me as well with my job, I'm responsible for doing all the work I need to do. So the way I like to do it and the way I've sort of thrived quite well is doing as much as I can on Monday. Because that's when motivation's the highest.
I quite like Mondays,
I love Mondays. Even at school, though, I used to like Mondays. No one really likes Mondays. And there's that cliche saying, if you don't like Mondays, you're in the wrong job. But I know it's not as simple as that.
It's not, but I do quite like Mondays.
It's like an opportunity.
I mean, I say Anglo, Mondays are really predictable.
Anglo's the
The
school.
school, yeah. Oh dear.
that Tom
The school.
I noticed the last time I watched on the podcast, you always reference it, and they probably don't know what you're talking
Yeah, so
about.
the school is, it's very predictable Monday because all the new kids arrive, and so it's very predictable, and I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm getting into. I know exactly how long it's going to be. I know roughly what to expect. I get to meet new people, show them around the place, and then working at the uniform shop, I never worked Mondays.
Yeah.
I never worked Sundays or Mondays, so I didn't mind working Saturdays. I always had Sunday and Monday off. So Monday was sleep in, have a rest, and then just do church stuff all afternoon with the kids and the youth. So I always have really enjoyed Mondays. And I think
Mondays
Monday
was
used to
Maverick
be,
Monday
yeah,
as
Monday
well.
used to do
So our
rehearsals.
drama group, that was great.
Monday is a good day. I like Mondays.
Yeah, I love that.
And it's always bank holiday. Bank holiday is so often on a Monday. It's hardly ever on a Friday. I mean, it's on a Friday this week, but
well, yeah, but I mean,
Mondays are great.
I just think with Mondays as well, I just love the whole reset button type thing, and you wake up and you're ready. And this is if you have a plan. If you wake up without a plan or without something you need to do, then I can see why Mondays might just be like long and there's nothing really to look forward to. But if you pack your Monday full of stuff and you just ensure, because your motivation will be high if you're in a positive mindset at least, if you give yourself so much to do on Monday, that makes Tuesdays a lot more bearable. Not that I don't like Tuesdays, because I like every day, because I like my life. But Tuesdays are a bit of a low.
I always find Thursday the hardest.
See, I'm close enough with Thursday. I'm close enough to the end of the week.
But I think that's again language school wise. That was the kind of minimum 12-hour day.
Yeah.
And because we also worked all day Saturday, it's not even like I was like all Friday and have Saturday off. It was 2/3 the way through the week. I used to get there about 7:30 in the morning. Would sometimes leave maybe 8:45 at night.
Yeah.
And you'd be there all day, and you do an activity for like 3 or 4 hours, have a short lunch, activity again for 3 or 4 hours, have dinner, then do another activity. It was just, and especially if I was getting the bus, it was a good 45 minutes to an hour to get there, and then 45 minutes to an hour to get back.
Yeah.
It was just such a long day. All you would do is go to work, come home, and go to bed.
Yeah.
And and then you have 2 more days. It was horrible. So Thursdays were always
so
terrible.
Strange that you have like so much job experience for different jobs, and I'm just thinking that I've done YouTube for over 3 years full time, and the only job I had before that was 6 months at McDonald's, which were like hard work, but like everyone obviously has a job that is hard work. And it's so weird. Like, part of me is thinking, I want a job. Like, I want
a real person.
I want a
job.
job. I want to interact with people. I want to have co-workers. I want to be better than my co-workers at the job.
Co-workers are like the best part of a job.
Oh yeah,
I think.
for sure. I remember that. McDonald's as well. Like, whoever you're with, that would make or break your shift.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
shout out to the crew trainer who said I was never going to be a YouTuber. What up, dude?
I would definitely say, credit to the school that, apart from a very select few colleagues, I've gotten on with pretty much everyone I've ever worked with. There was one guy in my first year who got fired, but he didn't really get fired. He quit, but not. And it's funny because he was actually a drama lecturer at university. I'm not going to say which one, but not mine. And so I was like, what are you even doing in this job anyway? Why? You don't need the money. But he was like, oh, well, I don't work during this time period. You're off from uni, so am I. So and we start on Monday, and he quit 2/3 of the way through Tuesday.
Yeah, the novelty wore off quickly.
he hated Monday and was horrified at just the fact that the children behaved like children, because he kind of forgot, being in a uni setting, that students weren't going to be like 18 and 19, they were going to be like 11.
Yeah.
And so he was like horrified that oh my gosh, why aren't they sharing the table tennis bats? And I was like, oh my gosh, you need to like half of my lunchtime supervision is just like, right, you need to take turns on the table tennis, and no, don't hit the football each other, no skateboarding indoors, the kind of classic.
Yeah.
And no, table football can fit 4 people, not 2. And then we went to Splashdown on Tuesday, and he was like,
water park.
and he was like, I'm not going in with the kids. And I was like, that's fine, because you have to wear this horrific bright orange t-shirt with the kids. But I was like, I love Splashdown. So I went in with the kids, and it was great. It just meant I was just there like chilling on the ring ride, like, no, don't drown each other, and just sort of watching and just basically going on all the slides and having fun. And he just was meant to be in the cafe with the kids that didn't want to go in or couldn't swim or didn't have permission or whatever. And he just wasn't there. Like, every time I looked, he just wasn't there. And then at the end, just when we came to the bus, he was just there with his KFC, and he just left. He just left and went to KFC and just didn't work for the whole day. and just came back
and then quit.
and just got on the coach. I was like, I need to talk to the boss because clearly I think there could be a lot of improvements going on. I was like really like sassy, like, yeah, I think things need to change.
Yeah.
And he went to like try and have a chat with the boss, and the boss was like, oh, I've got a meeting, can I do this? And so she sort of said that to him, like, can we talk later? And he was sort of a bit like grumbling and whatnot. And then he went to talk to her later again, and she was like, well, I've got another meeting. And then she was sort of finishing.
Yeah.
And he basically just was like, you're not even treating me like a real person or whatever. Got really sassy and just literally chucked his top, like his uniform, on the floor.
And
just went, if you're not going to talk to me like you, I'm out of here. And just walked off. And so she was just like, yeah, we're not going to pay him. And so he just didn't get paid for the 2 days he did. But they didn't really do anything in those 2 days. And I was like, I used to think, how bad do you have to be to get fired from this job? Actually, 2 people kind of left got fired in that 1 year.
Yeah. Well, I always think about, I used to think about this with McDonald's, even with school and just with work and within everything in general, right? What's weird is like we all have the obligation to work and, you know, basically pay our way because we need that way to live. But I always think to myself, or occasionally I think to myself, if you as a human being wanted to not get out of bed for a year, you just could. Like, no one can physically force you to do anything.
You could starve to death.
Yeah, but you get what I mean. Like, say, you know, if you were a kid that didn't want to go to school, and like an older kid in sixth form or whatever, you could literally just not go in.
There is actually a book called, I think, The Woman Who Didn't Get Out of Bed for a Year. And it's basically about this woman who she's like a mother of 3 kids, and she works loads, and she just decides, screw it. And yeah, she just decides she's not going to leave bed for a year. She just wakes up and says, right, I'm not doing it. And she just lies in bed for a year.
Yeah.
And the book is just about how kind of people have to adjust around her, and how suddenly her husband's like, oh crap, I've got to look after the kids and all this, and all the kids are like this, and she's there like, nope, and she just she just sits in bed like, serve me breakfast.
Like, that's the thing, you could just I mean, it's even more of a realistic thing.
I could actually do it
for
now.
me, because I'm not obliged to upload videos and make money. I'd like to because I want to live, but I could just, you know, lay myself off and just be like, right.
I mean, I'm a uni student who is effectively finished, and my term doesn't go back till September. So I actually could, for like, feasibly, for 4 months, just lie in that bed.
Yeah, I mean, that's different because you're going from the end of one thing to the next. Like, this is essentially just like a summer holiday sort
yeah,
of
but
thing.
Realistically, I could also do that during term.
Yeah,
and
but
no one would really care.
Yeah, no one would care for sure.
And I've got the student loan, so.
But you like have a direction for September, you know,
Yeah.
you know where you're going, so you can kind of work, you can almost rest up towards that. Whereas I could just like do it, and that would just, I don't know, weird. Well, I'm not going to do that because I'm not that kind of person, but some people seem to be thriving in lockdown doing nothing.
Honestly,
I can't.
I'm thriving in the sense that I'm just reading and writing and going out for walks and playing garden cricket. Like, I'm doing things. I'm thriving because I am still doing things. I would go mental if I had nothing to do. Yeah,
there are some people who are fully, you know, just watching Netflix or Disney Plus all day.
I am so tempted to get Disney Plus.
I have been tempted, but I don't know how good it'd be for my productivity. But still.
Exactly, that's why I haven't done it.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, oh, well, if uni's finished, I don't need to be productive.
You have the time.
I have the time.
And I think now that you know you're probably going to get a job very, very soon, you might want to take advantage of your time off fully now as like an actual sort of maybe do nothing for a little while.
Yeah, but I can't chill in my room because you're in it.
You can chill in any of the other rooms like you have been. Or you can chill here. I don't know.
I can just chill in the background of your video.
Maybe.
I promise you're there like, hello, boys, girls. I'm like, oh, no, stop.
Yeah, well.
I want to sleep.
Speaking of which, I do have to render some stuff. And this has actually been our longest podcast.
Oh.
It flowed well. It's so weird, and you just have to start talking. I do think we're getting better. I haven't actually watched the other one back. Yeah, by all means. Yeah, criticisms down in the comments, that's fine.
No, criticize him?
No, I mean...
You can praise me. It's his job. I'm just a guest.
I get criticized every day, so yeah. Dad was very surprised when I said I get, like, insulted every day. And he said, really? I was like, yeah, that's my job. Like
I get insulted on some of your videos.
Yeah, so...
I'm never even on here.
But I was, you know, I was 10 minutes into the Name Your Price episode last week, mostly because I haven't really been doing a menial task that allows me to listen to something in the background for a while. And it just did flow well. We came across quite well, and it would be interesting to see how this compares to our first podcast together. Because for me, I feel like I've been pretty much the same, partly because I did a few solo beforehand. I did 10 episodes of the Matt Max podcast a couple of years ago.
I think I've gotten better.
I think you must have gotten better.
Because I can no longer see myself.
Yeah,
because we could see ourselves
from the
in
first
the
episode.
one.
Pretty much just like said, right, let's minimize that.
And I think
You
I
look
mean,
at-
I don't even know what hat I'm gonna wear next week. I am running out. You know, I might have to
Yeah.
order one online. You know, but I don't think that counts as an essential purchase.
we're not banned from essential purchases.
No, I don't know. I just feel bad for like making a delivery driver come out to me just to give me a hat. For
No,
a
you shouldn't feel
podcast.
bad. I mean, I would not buy the hat on the basis I don't think it's necessary.
I reckon we must have some other hats somewhere.
Probably. But yeah, I think we're gonna end it there because I'm gonna edit this now. Doesn't take a lot, just some syncing because every like 10 minutes or so this skips a frame. So
Does it?
yeah,
Is there a reason for
that's
that?
no, it's just, I don't know. It's just weird. So that's all the editing I have to
You
do.
need
Like
to dust this
every 10 minutes. I don't need to. It's all fine. So yeah. Nevertheless, that's gonna do it for this podcast. Leave a like, leave a comment. We'll read them all.
See you in the next video very soon.
Boom. Nailed it.